interest rate scams are on the rise, so much so that the Federal Trade Commission issued a consumer alert. That's what we're covering today. Scammers will pretty much tell you anything to get you to trust them. Scammers will either email you or call you claiming that they're from the Department of Veteran Affairs or your loan servicer, which is really the most common one we see. We also see a lot of this with mail. It looks official from the VA or servicer, but it's not. And trust me, I'm a homeowner as well and have used my VA home loan, and I get these emails and mailers all the time. Plus clients reaching out saying, "Hey, look, what am I getting into by contacting this company?" So just be very careful. Now, these scammers, what they're going to do, because again, this happens to me, they're going to promise you to help lower your mortgage payment. And sometimes they'll do it for an upfront fee or a retainer. Now, this is important because this is illegal. A company cannot charge you before they help you with the things like debt relief or improving your credit. Furthermore, scammers will advise you to cut off contact with the lender, housing counselor, or even a credit counselor, right? They all tell you things like, "We'll handle it from here and you don't need to do anything." But the reality is they're just trying to steer you away from the real help you're looking for. The key is in this process is to slow down, assess your situation, and really read the fine print of all these documents that they're going to be either sending you or emailing you. And another step to this is that you have to do research on this company, not just like the first page that you see when you pull up on a search history. And I would also search multiple different search engines so you can actually see if there's like deep information about the company. The other part with that as well is that you can check out different reviews that they have to see if they are legitimate or not. Now, there is another part that you can do to this, which I'm going to drop some additional links down below for you to be able to get help from a government entity. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be contacting the local Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. There, they will be able to locate a local HUD office near you, or they can refer you to a correlating housing authority in your city, county, or state, and they'll also be able to help you. And people do report these scams to these agencies, so they can either tell you right away, or they may do some research into that company to see exactly what is going on with them, so you're not going to be steered in the wrong direction. Now, with personal experience talking with people online and also people reaching out and scheduling calls with me, we've had people lose their homes by signing their homes over to other entities or people. And I think that's unfortunate. We've seen a lot of this with wire fraud as well, right? So there is a larger scope to all this, especially as technology and communication evolves. You definitely need to stay vigilant in this piece. Now, another thing when it comes to, hey, if you are a veteran using your VA, you've used your VA home loan, right? You have one right now. You can always reach out to the Department of Veteran Affairs, and I'm going to link that down below as well. You'll actually talk to a real person at the VA home loan centers, the VA regional loan centers, should I say. And they will be able to guide you in the right direction to, again, make sure that you're not going down a path of, either losing your home or these promises that they make, but they ended up not delivering on them. I'll give you guys a personal story of my own. I got a mailer not that long ago. And I'm like, oh man, like this is a really attractive interest rate. I looked at it, being in the business myself, I looked at it, I'm like, man, these disclosures don't seem right. But I did search them on the NMLS website, and they were a legit company. The mailers they provided, this wasn't necessarily a scam, but it was kind of like a bait and switch situation. So they promised a interest rate, and they showed an APR, and I looked at the fine print, and I didn't see anything alarming. Okay, verified who they were online. I reached out to the number that was on the actual NMLS system, just to make sure that, like, hey, I'm not trying to call someone that's trying to look like them, and then it's a scam. They take your social security, they sell it, and all your information. Again, not a good spot to be in. As a side note, though, as a bonus item here, make sure that when you're not using your credit, that your credit report is locked. That way, in the event your information is taken or stolen, then they won't be able to do anything without your permission for you to call in and be able to unlock it. Downside to that is that sometimes it can be painful, but well worth it, because the opposite of that would be even worse. So back to this, I called them and I let them know, hey, this is my situation. And they told me flat out, like, well, you're in a good spot. But I'm like, well, I want this interest rate. Well, they're like, well, the interest rate costs too much money. But again, they didn't disclose that on the mailer that they sent out, which technically I could have just went and reported them, depending on what type of institution they are, either reported them to the FDIC or reported them to like a local authority to say, hey, they did false advertisement. But that is an option that you do have, if you feel strongly about what has happened, feel free to reach out to these agencies and report these people, especially if it's scams. I encourage you to do and reach out to them, because it helps other people in the community be able to fight this type of scam. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys soon.